Southern Vangard Radio, this is DJ John Doe. And to the left of me is my man,
Eddie Meeks. What's good, people?
Eddie Meeks, what's up, my friend?
Ready for another episode, homie?
I am ready as well.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
Action-packed, man. The kids was out of school Thursday and Friday. Yesterday, I was Mr. Dad.
Doing fatherly and husbandly duties.
Yeah, dropping people off at Six Flags and at the marketplace.
All right.
Having to go back and pick them up. Action-packed, man. Action-packed.
Right.
What about you?
That weather's bumping right now, isn't it?
It's crazy. Woo. I heard we're gonna be cold coming up this week though. So
just a tad.
Just a little bit.
It's gonna get it in one more time. Before it's a wrap.
Yeah, but we ready for whatever, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mine was pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So
Friday night was epic, right? Thursday night, my bad.
Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night. Yeah. So we can chat about that real quick. So Native Tongue Experience at the Sound Table on Thursday night. Myself, DJ Crossfader, James DL, curated, if you will.
Yeah.
And man, we turned it out. I was pretty happy with how things went. Thanks to the weekend I'm sorry, I always say their name wrong. The Wrecking Crew All Stars. I want to say the old one. I want to say the Weekend Wrecking Crew.
They still the Weekend Wrecking Crew. You know what it is.
Yeah, peace to Randall and Talib and G and everybody from that whole crew.
Yeah, Carl Injects over at the Sound Table.
Absolutely, Carl Injects, no doubt. So it was a real good night. So we're just kind of fine tuning, and we're gonna see, where we're gonna take this thing.
Okay.
So,
that's what's up.
Yeah, it was a real good time. So
man.
Thanks to everybody that came out on Thursday night.
Yep.
It's a good one. All right, so let's get down to biz real quick. If this is the first time you're listening to this podcast, this is an interview session. We do these on Thursdays. It's Sunday when we record generally, but these don't drop until Thursday. And we also have a mix show that drops on Tuesday. So kind of the way that the week rolls is that Tuesday, the mix show comes out at 60 to 90 minutes of, Meeks and I playing joints, cutting them up, popping shit, doing whatever, doing it the way it should be done.
Yeah.
And usually what we kind of do is we set you up for the interview that's going to come on Thursday.
Yeah,
so, a lot of people will listen to us, or find out about us first from an interview session. Some people find out about us first from a mix show. So we got to make sure that everybody knows that, there's multiple things going on throughout the week with Southern Vangard Radio.
No doubt. At least twice a week.
At least twice a week.
Yeah.
So that being said, Meeks, I'm going to let you do the introduction for our very special guest tonight. Very, very, very special guest tonight. As you've been kind of working on this for some time.
Yep.
Behind the scenes, and I'm going to pass it to you to do the introduction, and we're just going to get things underway.
No problem, man. What's dope about this session, people, is that still to this day, our biggest interview was with the one and only Sean Price. We're looking at over 12,000 plays right now on our SoundCloud page, and the various other outlets that it's on. They're sitting on several thousand as well. Yep. So by far our biggest, probably will always be our biggest. But really what's dope about this is the fact that this drops Thursday.
Absolutely.
Is the God Sean P's birthday.
No
so
doubt.
I'm so happy we talking to the person we talking to tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Bernadette Price. That's who we have on the line tonight. Yeah.
Bernadette, how are you?
Hi, I'm okay. How are you?
Man, we're great. So excited to have you with us. We tried to do this late last year, but it didn't work out. So I guess something is really working in the ethers right now for us to be talking to you and for the interview to be dropping on his born day. So happy to have you with us.
Nice. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So Bernadette, can you tell us a little bit first about what's going on this week? Around Sean's birthday, it looks like there's something going on Toka Tuesdays, and then there's something going on Thursday for his actual birthday. And I saw some things going on at South by Southwest. It looks like it's going to be a pretty busy weekend.
Yes, it is. It's going to be very busy. The party is going down on Tuesday at Toka Tuesdays. We just gonna party and celebrate his life, and it's gonna be pretty dope. Thursday, we'll be doing South by Southwest.
Okay.
The whole camp is coming, and we're gonna, perform and do our best in remembrance of Sean.
All right.
So you guys are actually going out to Austin, huh? Getting on the road, heading out there?
Yes, we're going out there, and it's going to be my first time flying.
Ever?
Oh, is it really?
First time ever?
First time ever. Sean would try to get me to go, and I'd be like, no. But then, too, we got the kids, so I couldn't really go too many places anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm doing it.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Well, it's funny because I was actually going to ask you if this is your first time going to Austin, but this is your first time getting on a plane as well. So that's pretty monumental.
Hell yeah. Big time.
Well, hey, Bernadette, I got to tell you, Austin is a real cool, chill place. I was there for the first time about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I was there on some work shit. I wasn't there on some music shit. Yeah, exactly,
right.
exactly. Now, I did get some digging in, but you better believe that. But yeah, I was there for a couple of days, and I did get to hang out a little bit. A friend of mine actually has a record store there that's real dope. It's called Friends of Sound. My man Dave Hafner has a little spot out there that's real dope. But Austin is real cool. Now, it's going to be buck wild because it's South by Southwest.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think you're going to have a really good time.
Yeah.
It's a dope city.
Yes, definitely.
So
I believe so.
Okay.
So tell us about Tuesday. What's going on at Toca Tuesdays in New York?
Yes, it's in New York. We're going to party. That's what we're going to do. We're going to party and remember him and have a little cupcakes and just enjoy, each other because we haven't really been around each other too tough. It's been work.
Yeah.
So we're gonna, relax and have a great time. I haven't seen a lot of people in a while since his passing.
Okay.
So I'll get to do that. But that's about it.
Okay. And what's the plans for baby girl's born day? Because she's on the 18th, right?
Yes, she's the next day.
Yeah.
I'm giving her. She's gonna have a party in her class.
Okay.
I won't be back in time, but she'll. I'll deal with her when I get back.
Okay, but she's covered for the 18th.
But she's covered.
Okay.
She's gonna party. She's the only girl. She's 5. Our
that's
other
a big
kids
one.
are bigger.
Yeah. Yep.
Our other kids are big, so.
Okay.
Hey, Bernadette,
she wants to be around her friends. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. What were you going to say? She wants to be around her friends.
I said, yeah, she wants to be around people her age.
Right.
Understood.
Yeah, exactly.
Understood. Yeah.
We've had a couple of 5-year-olds in our lifetimes as well.
For sure.
We, Meeks?
Yes.
I've got a 4-year-old right now and an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. So we know how that goes around here.
Yeah, the big 5 that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's 5 going on 55. She's ahead of her time.
That's what's up.
So Bernadette, what was the deal with South by Southwest? Whose idea was that? Did someone come to you guys with that idea, or how did you guys figure out you should pack up everything and go out to Austin to throw down on Thursday?
Well, Sean usually performs every birthday of his. Once our daughter came, before that he would do the 18th, but when she came along, he switched it to the 17th.
Okay.
So, if he was here, he would probably most likely be going. So we all just decided, we're going to go out there and celebrate and barbecue and,
oh, man.
enjoy ourselves.
Man, that lineup is popping too.
Woo. Yes, it is. It's a great lineup. Very great.
No doubt.
Nas.
I'm excited.
Yeah, Nas, Khaled, Yo Gotti, Just Blaze, Manny Fresh, Trey the Truth, Buckshot, Rock, Smith and Wesson, Dave East, Boldy James.
You making me want to go.
Green Lantern. Meeks, let's hit a price line right now. See if we can get us a ticket real quick.
Check it out, man. I want to go so bad now. Woo. Crazy.
it's definitely gonna be a great show.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Sounds like it.
Great show and a great party.
Bernadette, am I tripping? Have I been hearing things about you getting up on stage and spitting bars? Is that what's going on right now?
Yeah, that went on.
Oh man. Whoo. How you feel about that?
I feel great, you know. It doesn't really bother me. It's almost like he wants me to do it.
Okay.
You know, it's just a feeling of his presence that I get.
Okay.
And I know his music, most of, you know, the words to his songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, you know what? Okay, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
At first I was joking, and then I just
went on ahead with it, right?
Yeah.
Has baby girl been schooling you? Because she got it now. She got them down packed. Has she been coaching you?
No, she didn't have to coach me. I might have some more coaching to do to her.
Oh, okay.
Her dad
okay, that's what's up. Yeah, it's kind of
He definitely wanted her to be his little sidekick. He always would say, "That's my partner."
Yeah. She does a great job. Yeah, it was funny. I was awakened this morning by my homegirl, my sister Star. And she was the one that kind of put me up on game that you've been, you know, doing your thing as far as like holding down, you know, mic duties and whatnot lately. Right. But she also kind of gave me some insight and made me think. And we want to like get to know who you are. You know what I mean? It's cool to, you know, of course we're gonna talk about P regardless, but we want to learn a little bit about who Bernadette is and you know what it was like, you know, when you guys first met and everything, and you know just your life together, I guess. So if you could go into that a little bit, that'd be real cool.
Okay.
You're like, where are you from? Where are you from originally, Bernadette?
I'm from Brownsville, Brooklyn, the same place Sean is from.
Okay.
We grew up from the same, you know, neighborhood, Brownsville Project. I've known him since I was 13 because he used to hang on my block. Mm-hmm. He's from Mother Gaston and Blake side, and I'm from Rockaway and Dumont side, which is 2 blocks from each other, but it's all connected.
Okay.
And growing up, Bernadette, was music always a big part of your life? I mean, obviously, you know, growing up in New York, yes. And I mean, music is everywhere. It's just kind of part of you, right?
Yes. I've always been a big hip hop fan from day one before, you know, our connection. It's just that when we connected, it surprised him that I was into hip hop.
Okay.
You know, and we would talk and he would joke and he'd be rapping and he'd be like, if I make it, you're going to still be with me. And I was like, shoot, you going to be, you know, out there. And he was like, whatever. So, you know, he used to crack a lot of jokes all the time. He was fun to be around.
Okay.
You know, from then.
All right. So what were the back and forth about on either top fives or albums, or you argued over what was the best, or how about that? Were you guys pretty aligned there, or did you see differently in that regard?
Maybe y'all was battling each other. Was there some battles? Talk about some of them epic battles.
We both like the same thing. Mary J. Blige and hardcore rap.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
That's our thing. You know, we both like the same type of music, so we connected there, and that's what brought us together. Mm-hmm. And what actually got us to having a family was when Method Man Cal came out.
Okay.
A word? Oh, okay.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Does Meth know that? Have you told him that?
I don't know if Sean told him. You know, I asked him, did he tell him? Because they you know, they speak. They speak like that.
Right.
You know, and I thought it was real funny, but we joked about it, and he always was joking about it. And people was like, "Are you that serious?" And he like, "Yeah, I'm serious." I felt crazy at first, but then I was like, "It don't matter. We married now."
Yeah,
So.
right.
That's dope.
That's a good one.
Yep.
That's great. That's great. So,
Yeah.
Bernadette, you have a big family there in Brooklyn still, or?
Yes, my family. I have few family members in Brooklyn, and then they're spread out over the 5 boroughs, and
Okay.
and Sean's family also is a lot of them in Brooklyn, and they're spread out as well.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So Bernadette, how did you guys end up meeting? You guys were just kind of around the way from one another, or went to school together, or how did?
We like I said, we from the same project, which is not far from each other. He used to come
Okay.
to my building and hang with one of his friends, and that's how we started like clicking with each other.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And so with this was before, obviously,
This is before, all of that stuff there.
yeah, before the world knew about Black Moon and Smith and Wesson and Helter Skelter and all that.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Mhm.
Dope.
Not many people can say they've been down from day one like that.
Nah, not many at all.
No,
Man.
well, it was a lot of break up and get back together.
Oh yeah. That
for
comes with
like
it.
maybe the first 3-4 years,
Mm-hmm.
but we never separated completely.
Okay.
Everything was always tight with us. I had unconditional love for him. So, I loved him as a friend. And then when we became, together, it just made it stronger.
Right.
So whether, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I accepted it all because I love him unconditionally.
That's what's up. And the breakups and makeups, was that after he got signed, or was some of that?
Yes,
That's
it was
what.
after.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely after.
Yeah.
You know how it go, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you start traveling, and
Yeah, the road is not kind to relationships.
Not at all.
Unfortunately.
Well, of course not. And that's why he made that quote and said, he said something about hip hop will make it seem like it's not cool to have a wife and a family, but I have them, and I'm gonna rep it in my song. So I'm gonna say that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, he was big on that for sure.
Hey Bernadette, do you remember specifically when when Sean was grinding and you guys were in this together, and do you remember a specific moment when you thought, oh man, this shit is actually gonna pop? Like, do you remember a time or an event or a show or something that where you kind of both looked at one another and you were like, oh damn, this is really gonna go?
Well, when he came and reinvented himself, I knew that the rhymes were much harder. You could hear the hunger in his voice. And I said, yep, it's going to happen.
Okay.
Sooner or later it's going to happen, because he will always, do that hardcore stuff. And, some of it was jokes in between, and it was real things. And, so he definitely, I knew that one day it would happen. I'm just, this is what it is.
Yeah, that's really interesting you say that, because, I think at the time, not that probably a lot of folks counted him out necessarily, but it's probably that people weren't expecting it. So when he came back out and, and flipped it on everybody, I don't think people realized what was coming. But you're saying you knew what was coming. You saw what was getting ready to happen.
Yes, I did. I definitely did. He will always say time and patience is everything. And I had to learn patience. Like I tell you no lie, patience is not always my friend.
I hear you.
Right. Yeah.
It's hard work. You got to be very, very dedicated.
Yeah.
If you're not dedicated, you will fall underneath the radar.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the questions I had with I guess after, I don't know, no more Helter Skelter or what have you, how influential were you? Were you kind of pushing him to do something?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering if you
Pushing
had
him
some
to go harder.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I was,
because you sit down, you get comfortable sometimes.
Absolutely.
You want to enjoy, your regular life and enjoy what you work so hard for. And and sometimes we sit too long.
Yeah.
That was the break in between albums, and I'm like, get up. This is what you want to do. You got to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have to, because he couldn't see himself doing anything other than what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And once I knew that he was sure and he was dedicated, I said, get up and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my next question. What is a push or a nudge from Bernadette like? Is it forceful? Is it guns clapping? What is that like?
I'm very understanding. I am. Okay. I'm very understanding and I'm very forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is human and artists are human. Mm-hmm. People look at them like they're robots, but they're not. They're human. They have the same problems that everybody else has.
If not more.
And people think, because you have money or because you're on TV or because of this, that, and the third, that you don't have issues.
Mm-hmm.
With more money comes more problems.
Absolutely.
And it's a true saying, you got to live it to know it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Bernadette, when we interviewed Sean, he brought up, because we asked him about his name change, and I think he kind of cracked a joke about it, actually. He said his mother convinced him to do it, or told him just to go by.
Yes, she did.
And then he quickly kind of followed up with that. He's like, don't get it wrong. It wasn't like she was on the bed like coughing and hacking on her last breath, and she said, Sean, go by your real name. It wasn't anything like that, but
no, it wasn't, not at all.
Do you remember him running that by you? Like, did he run that by you? Like, hey. No,
I was there when his mom said it.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Yes, she always said it. She said, "Why you don't rep Sean Price? You don't like your name? You gotta let them know." His mother was hardcore too.
Oh, that's classic.
Yeah, he said, you know what? He said, you know what? I'm gonna do that, and so he did it.
So what was that conversation like? Were you guys just all kind of sitting around the table at dinner and just talking about how hey mom?
No, probably walking around, smoking, or just talking in general.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
He'd be playing his stuff, and he'd be like, "Boy, you can rhyme." Why you don't use it? That's where it came.
That's where it came. Why you don't use your real name?
I bird you. Use your real name.
Right.
That's right. Ain't nothing better than your real name.
Nothing at all.
You're damn right.
Nothing at all.
As mothers, we feel, well, Dad, you're not using the name I gave you. What's this about? You ain't like your name the whole time?
Yeah, what's greater than that? Yeah.
Right.
I got to tell you what, he flipped it, man. He sure enough did flip it
all
right on
the
his
way.
head.
Yeah, he did.
That's ill.
Bernadette, what was with him being once he did strike out on his own and got to be a little bit more successful, what was home life like for you? Like, did you hold down a day gig, or were you just primarily
Well, I've worked for New York City Housing Authority from 93 until 2003 or 4.
Okay.
So once I stopped working, I was home, and of course later on we conceived another kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed home, and he went and did what he did and come back home and take care of the family.
Yeah.
It's like regular life. It was plenty of jokes, plenty of playing, wrestling with the boys, playing a game with the kids, listening to music, friends come over, regular stuff.
Family stuff, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So, Bernadette, speaking of family, how's the duck down? What's the duck down family mean to you? I mean, I know they obviously mean a lot, but
yes, I love them guys. We all grew up together.
Yeah,
we all grew up together. So it's bigger than music.
Right.
Sean went to school with majority of them, and me and my sisters and us, we went to school with their brothers and, sisters and stuff like that. So we all know each other. Like I said, Brownsville is a bunch of projects compacted into one area.
Right.
But all of us knew each other. Some of us did go to the same junior high schools and the same public schools.
Okay.
Now, do you remember Duck Down kind of forming and gelling back then, or was it?
I remember. Yes, I remember. I remember the beginning up until now.
Okay.
Like I said, we was off and on for the first 4 years.
Okay.
So I was still in tune with certain things because we always would see each other. But, as far as that whole, back and forth, the first boot camp album, and I wasn't there for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But the rest of them I was there for.
Okay.
I got to tell you what, there aren't too many crews around these days that have longevity like that.
Not at all.
I could probably count them on two hands. That's for sure.
That's all you got,
and that's all I got. We could go to my feet. We can use my nasty ass toes. But we don't want to do that.
That's not necessary. It ain't
right,
gonna go.
But like I said, everybody grew up around each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a different type of situation.
And yeah, family know each other's families. Like, we're no strangers to each other at all.
Y'all go back to the DCEP days. I remember speaking to P about his DCEP name and all that. What was those days like? Was they just wilding in general, or just something to do as teenagers or whatever? They were young.
They were young.
Yeah.
They were young. They was like a brotherhood.
I got you.
And sisterhood.
Got you.
It wasn't always just wilding. There was precious moments, barbecues, parties.
People's being with their peoples or whatever.
That's right.
That's what's up. Speaking of Duck Down, I know maybe a month ago or so I saw you kind of holding it down in the studio, getting prepping some music, some of P's music. Has Duck Down kind of been working with you on that? Are they pretty hands on with that, or what's the deal with that?
All the way. All the way.
I wanted to ask you that because I know. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I said they teaching me the ropes, and I'm learning.
Okay. I know. I wanted to ask you about that because I don't know why it just reminds me kind of what's going on with what you're doing and getting things ready for the future and everything. It kind of makes me think about Mon Dukes and the handling of Jay Dilla's estate and everything. Do you feel that you have complete control or say so on what's gonna come out as far as P's music is concerned, or are there several?
Yes, yes, I have complete control.
Okay.
I'm asking for advice.
Okay.
Because I want to make it, even though I was there in a relationship with him,
mm-hmm.
Sometimes I went to the studio with him and a lot of times I didn't.
Yeah.
So I have to learn other things. Like, it's more to it than just, he did the rhyming,
mm-hmm.
And he would ask me opinions on rhymes and beats and, certain things that he would say in the rhyme.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty, I got a mind on it.
Yeah. And I know there's been some bad business and some disrespect hurled your way since he's passed. Have you been hitting the brakes on these people that maybe are dropping joints without your permission and things like that? I've seen you had to scream on a few people online, and I'm like, I be at the crib like, get them, Bernadette, get them. Don't let these motherfuckers play games like that. Get them. What's that been like?
Well, there are individuals doing crazy things, but you expect that when a person passed away to have to deal with all these crazy things, because like I tell people all the time, if he was here, I'm pretty sure that it will be dealt with differently.
Correct. And at the end of the day, it's just business, right?
Right. It's just business. I mean, some he might have mistaken for friends.
Right.
But like I said, those that portray to be friends, once you pass away, they can be whatever they want.
Right.
You will not know.
Right.
You're not there and in body form.
Mm-hmm.
So it, I mean, it'll
Yeah.
It'll be what it's gonna be.
Okay. Yeah, I know when we was getting ready today, I know I definitely wanted to take some time out to give you the floor to address any of that. So right now, if there's something you want to say or put out there for these suckers out here that's planning on doing something dirty, the floor is yours, Mom. I want to hear this because I've been waiting all day for this.
Don't be putting me on the spot like
nah, it's yours. It's yours.
But on some real shit, like if you doing ground ball shit, then expect the consequences behind it. That's all I can say.
And there
that's all I'm gonna
say. There it is.
So Bernadette, can you speak on anything that's around the corner, or is everything just from a release standpoint officially from from Sean and Duck Down and the family, or are you guys have a pretty tight lid on it right now, trying to figure out what you're gonna do?
Well, before Sean passed, he already had was working on some things that were basically finished.
Okay.
He has an album coming with Little Fame.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He talked to us about that on the. Actually, he played. Yeah, he talked to us about that on the interview. Yeah, he was that was when the interview went off the rails. He started playing this shit over the phone, like old school shit. Like, hey man, listen to this shit over the phone. He played some of the joints from the mixtape and from the Little Fame joints.
Yeah,
so
that's right. When we lost it.
Yeah, that's when we lost our shit. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely got some stuff in the works.
Okay.
There's a few things lined up, and what I'm working on is Imperious Rex.
Okay.
He had a few songs in, and it's almost ready.
That's what's up.
Yeah, what was the what was he gonna call his the last mixtape, or he had an album?
Was it?
He was gonna call his album Neglicious.
There you go. Neglicious con queso, the Royale nigga with cheese.
Y'all laughing. I was there sitting there listening to the whole damn interview. Now I'm gonna let y'all know.
and you had to straighten them out on that. You had to straighten them out on that. Like, you're gonna be mad when one of them white boys come up on you.
That's right. See, people call him by the name of his mixtape.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I didn't want him being called that.
Right.
I knew if they call him Mike Tyson, they call him Jesus Christ, they're going to call him Neglicious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they might be on some honest shit. But being the things that's going on in the world today,
exactly,
that can't happen.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. I can't
no
imagine.
No offense. Like, I'm not a racist or anything like that, but
yeah,
it's happening right now. It's real right now.
But it's races out there for real.
You're damn right it is. But when he passed, it was a whole lot of hunky dory. Sorry,
y'all. You good? Speak your mind.
It was a whole lot of racist people saying things about my husband, and they don't know him from a hole in the wall. And I'm like, really? Like online? This is what y'all do?
Yeah.
All that online stuff is whack.
Yeah, the little internet thugs. And that's
What I'm gonna do? Keep
yeah.
arguing with everybody? I can't argue with everybody.
Yeah.
My fingers will be hurting. They be bleeding.
And that's what I was talking about, like the stuff that's been coming your way since he passed. Is just like, a lot of it has been positive, but there's some sideways shit coming at you. Yes, it's been
positive because I know that he has done countless features.
Mm-hmm.
I know this.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But all I say to individuals is respect that he do have a family.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A real person gonna be like, you know what? Because he ain't here to write no more rhymes.
Right.
And that's a fact.
Right. And he's not here to go back at them either. And that,
No, he's not.
And what they don't realize
is if they knew him,
yeah,
they knew what he was about. And
they wouldn't even come at him anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy.
Right.
Crazy.
So,
that's wild.
It is what it is, though. Everybody has their day, and everybody will have to answer one day for all their wrongdoing. So
that's very true.
I don't go too hard at anything because I understand, that some of these individuals can't make it on their own.
Right.
So they need somebody else to lean on.
Mm-hmm.
And once that lean is gone, they stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean was friendly. He cracked jokes. He tells, what it is. He never really bit his tongue ever. You had to love him if you knew him because he kept it real.
Yeah.
He didn't bite his tongue. He didn't front. If he liked you, he liked you. And if he didn't, he just didn't.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You had to have a certain sense of humor in order to deal with him.
Right.
It is definitely a different type of wit. I tell you what, man, I was on my toes during that interview.
Hey, man, it was only one, man.
There was only one.
There was only one. And there'll never be another one, man. I'm sorry.
So Bernadette, we're going to see that music out this year, you think? Or
Yes, it's coming around early spring.
Okay.
Ooh, all right.
That's right around the corner, homie.
The fame,
right around the corner.
The Fame and the Imperious Rex project, you think will be out both this year?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful. I love hearing that.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right. Well,
please do.
Absolutely. So Bernadette, I think we've absolutely taken enough of your time tonight, but I'd like to give you, one last chance to tell the people where they can go to, support Sean and his family and Duck Down, and anything else that you would like to say or get off your chest before you wrap up tonight. The floor is yours. So tell the people what they need to know.
To find out about Sean Price, you got to go to duckdown.com. We got some real special things in the works. I can't expose it to people right now, but keep a watch for it. It's coming. Definitely the music is coming. Imperious Rex will be out this spring. And we're just going to keep putting things together to keep Sean alive.
All right.
Because he deserves it.
Definitely.
Absolutely, he does.
Yeah.
I see this purple splattered vinyl is crazy.
Man.
I love it. It's beautiful.
And I'm gonna tell you beautiful. What, I got one of the hoodies in the polo style logo.
Yes, the Sean Price great.
Yeah, I got one. I'm gonna wear it until all the sleeves and everything come off of it. I'm gonna wear it until it's a halter top. I'm gonna wear it all this summer.
That's a warm sweater.
Yeah, Bernadette, I told him when he came over to my house, he can't wear that shit around me because I might.
Oh shit! Because you missed it.
Yeah. I might just
put more out.
Yeah, exactly. I might just fight him for it, and that wouldn't end well because Meeks would beat my ass.
Oh shit!
Definitely, I'm gonna be. We're gonna be looking out for all of that, Bernadette. Definitely, all the music that's coming out, any of the the special tees and hoodies and sweatshirts and stuff like that. You'll have our undying support. Like I said,
thank you guys.
What he's done for us, There's a lot of people here still walking this earth that wouldn't do half of what Sean P has done
Absolutely.
for us. And I never forget
He had
that.
a big heart.
Yeah.
A big heart.
Yeah, we appreciate him to no end, and we appreciate you for taking your time out to sit down and talk with us tonight.
And I thank you guys, and I thank everyone for the support and the love of Sean Price
That's what's up.
Absolutely.
and my family.
All right.
Absolutely. Sean P's birthday this Thursday, you suckers.
Yes.
All right.
That's right.
When you wake up on Thursday morning, you're not bumping anything but Sean
But
P.
Sean Price.
That's
All
it.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bernadette, hang
All
tight
right.
with us. We're going to wrap this up, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, Meeks.
Hey, man, I wouldn't want it any other way.
I wouldn't want it any other way either.
Yeah.
Either.
There's really nothing else to be said. This is Southern Vangard Radio.
Yeah.
You don't find this in many places, folks. All right?
Nah.
This is that real
No,
shit.
definitely.
Every Tuesday, every Thursday, nothing but that real shit.
All the time, man.
DJ John Doe,
Cappuccino Meeks.
Southern Vanguard Radio on iTunes, SoundCloud,
Yeah.
Mixcloud,
Yeah.
Stitcher Radio. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Peace.
Peace.